topic I've chosen is lead magnets versus low ticket offers to get people into their funnel. Now, 5W Avatar within the BPM method is being very clear about who I'm speaking to, what I see as the problem I'm solving for them, or the opportunity I'm creating for them. This did 100K plus in 8 days of the launch. Key thing here was I was prepared to go up to $100 on my cost per acquisition. Welcome to today's Elite Coaching Call, and the topic I've chosen is one that's come up a lot more recently, again, especially after the tracking challenges with Facebook and people looking at kind of lead magnets versus low ticket offers to get people into their funnel. Now, a low ticket offer is something from your catalog of products or offers. It could be digital, could be physical products, but something that's there just to hook people in. So generally it's priced lower than your average order value, but you're trying to bring people in on something that's going to give them value and maybe a tester or taster of what you're offering without them having to commit to the full basket value. So what I'm going to kind of map out is why I would use one or the other, and kind of why I prefer for people to give me money up front rather than going for those lead magnets, which are generally free. So the first thing is, a lead magnet is something which you give away in exchange for something. So there is a price involved. Usually it's an email address or cell number or something like that. So first of all, a free lead magnet isn't truly free unless it's just a click to a website, but then it's not really a lead magnet that you're developing. The reasons why you would have a lead magnet are for different things. So for example, if I'm building a funnel and I want to get my message out there to as many people as I can, then I might use a lead magnet to hook people in. So let's move the lead magnet there. And let's say we're running an ad, and the ad drives people to a lead magnet. So this could be a PDF. It could be a 1-page PDF. It could be a 10-page PDF. It could even be an ebook, a white paper. It could be a video you're giving away. There's so many different types of lead magnets. Even I saw someone that was giving away free Canva templates, which was the first step of getting people into their funnel. So a lead magnet is really a way of dripping people into your funnel, whatever that looks like. So that's just the kind of basic explanation of what a lead magnet is and why you'd want to bring people in. The problem with the lead magnets that I see quite often is that they are not positioned and pitched in the right way. So when I'm creating my lead magnet, I'm starting off with my avatar. So for me, that's what I build through what I call the 5W Avatar within the BPM method. But essentially, this is being very clear about who I'm speaking to, what I see as the problem I'm solving for them, or the opportunity I'm creating for them. And then I create the lead magnet around it. For example, we're running a lead magnet right now for our elite coaching program. We've gone through 3 different types of avatar for this example. So number one is a freelancer that is currently struggling with growth. And there's many things going on there. Number 2 is an agency owner. I'll just put negative here. So they're struggling, agency owner struggling. Number 3 is an agency owner that's not struggling, but they want to grow. So they're 3 different states of potentially the same journey. So someone could start off as a freelancer, struggling, and then going to positive. Maybe they're an agency, then after hiring and they're challenged and then they go into positive, or maybe they're just 3 different avatars based on who we want to be speaking to. So the lead magnet we've been testing is around showing the steps on actually growing, whether you're a freelancer, an agency, and various stages. But we tried different hooks. So for example, when we looked at the hooks that were working for the struggling freelancers, it was how we managed 2 million a month. Also for this one here, it was, I think, 2 million a month for agency growth. For this, it was what it takes to be a 7-figure agency owner. So we've done some kind of analysis and we understood that there are different pain points and opportunities here. So these lead magnets are working for these 3 types of prospects. But what we did, and this is what makes our free lead magnets better, is that we would add a filter. So before we took those leads into our funnel, there is a filter that we put in place. So what this filter does is it allows us to grade the quality of the leads. So for example, let's say you're an agency owner and you want to run leads for e-commerce businesses that are making between 10,000 a month in revenue or 100,000 a month. Let's say that's your sweet spot. So you push out a lead magnet and the ad says something like, these are the 5 fastest ways to make more money with Facebook ads in 2023. Let's just say that's your hook for the lead magnet. Someone clicks into your lead form. So I prefer to use the Facebook lead form because it's far more accurate in terms of tracking. So they click into this, they enter the email address and things like that. But before they do that, there's a qualifying question. So this question is asking, how much are you making a month? And you might say 0 to 10, 10 to 50, 50 to 100, 100 plus. Like that's all it could be. Now, what you're doing here is, especially with the lead forms as they are right now, you are able to filter. So in my case, what I would do is I would only keep these people here, and those people, I would give them something else. So for example, just in terms of our lead magnet, which is up here, we ask something similar as well. If they answer option 1, which is not the perfect avatar we want to be speaking to, we don't actually give them the lead magnet. We give them another opportunity to engage with us, which is to join our Facebook group. So our Facebook group has tons of content. Let's say, for example, you have a Facebook group for e-commerce businesses, and it is aimed at those doing 10 to 100K a month, but you also have materials for people getting started as well. So you can kind of bypass them. You can collect leads straight into your Facebook group, but you're not pushing them into your funnel. The ones you are pushing in are the ones that match your ideal prospect. And the cool thing about this is if you can get this data into your CRM, which is what we do as well, then you can start building automations based on who they are. Now, you might decide, I want all the leads, and it doesn't matter if they're 0 to 10, I still want the email. That's absolutely fine as well. We chose not to take the email at that stage. But once you get into the CRM, then at least you have an idea of where they're at. And you might ask another question. You don't have to be one question. It might be like, what's your biggest challenge? It could be Facebook ads, funnel conversion rate, retention, lifetime value, repeat orders, whatever it is. But that's the way I would make a lead magnet work. Now, it does increase your lead cost. So for example, if I'm pushing, and I do when I'm pushing leads like this. So if I show you this quick screen here, so this is the current lead form that we're running for that particular offer. And to give you an example, these are the audiences that we're targeting. And we're getting some okay leads, like for me, £5 for our high ticket elite coaching program is a good cost per lead. But then like we can go down and break that down by ad, and we can see that some of the ads are performing better than others, £2.64. And then I can analyze what's conversion rate, what's the click-through rate. So there's a ton of optimizations I can do, but I am filtering out intentionally, which will increase my lead cost because I want quality emails to enter my funnel. Because the work we do in the funnel at this stage is a combination of email plus outreach. So I'll say automated email. So automated email is for us an automation. So once they enter the automation, we can then look at their data and start serving them emails and content related to what we know about them. And then outreach is where someone sends a manual email to try and pull them out of this funnel into a call, which is how we are trying to funnel people. So that allows us to know something about them from this lead magnet. We know that they're good quality and they match our avatar. We put them through the funnel, we push them through automations, and we're collecting more data about them. So every email they open, that they click, maybe there's another download, maybe there's a video that we share, we're giving them lots of value. And then we're also identifying those hot prospects based on their activity in the funnel to get them to take an action. So for us, it's a call. For an e-com biz, I would say we're doing AOVs over $75. This is something we would do, and then get them to view the products and things like that, because we're indoctrinating them, getting them into our brand. So this is how I make free lead magnets work. However, it's not my preferred way of getting leads into my funnel. My preferred way is SLO. So a self-liquidating offer. The power of this is you build an offer based on a price and what you believe you can get as a cost per acquisition. This is what I start with. So let's say, for example, so Black Friday last year, I ran an offer which was for $29. I called it media buying kits. So what I did there is I started off with what kind of price do I think I can get volume for, and I can get a decent cost per acquisition for as well. So then I created this product. So based on existing assets, I created a digital product called the media buying kit with upsells. And this is really important. So this, because of upsells, it doesn't matter what you charge on the front end. You could charge $1, you could charge $29, etc. This is really where I'm looking at what AOV do I actually want. Like, this is my AOV builder. So for example, for this, I wanted my AOV closer to $100. So $29 is a good step up. We went straight from 29 to, I think the offers there were about 200, 300. So the average order value did come in at $100, which is what we're after. If you've got a $1 offer here, then you might need more steps. For us, we had a $29 offer. I think the next one was, I'm trying to remember, 197. And then I think there was also a 497 offer as well. So that is an upsell journey in terms of pricing is okay. If you started with $1 and went straight to 197, probably wouldn't work. You might then have a 49 and then maybe 297 or straight into a 497. That's totally fine. But what you're doing here, and this is a big part of the psychology of building a self-liquidating offer, this is the hook. This price here is the one that's going to pull people out of the ad platform, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, it doesn't matter. What you need to decide is, can I build something of value where I can get the maximum conversion rate on the front end? This is all about maximum conversion rate. Then at the back end, it's all about maximum AOV. So we start with conversion rate, and then we finish with getting the highest AOV possible. And because of this, I'd say 9 times out of 10, this trumps this model. Ultimately, it's the same thing. I want leads to come in for a particular offer. I'm testing them here. So here I'm testing them with upsells. So if they add the upsells, then I know that they are active buyers and they're willing to invest. If they don't take the upsells or things like that, then I know that they're non-actives. So this comes down to testing as well. You need to test your upsells. You need to make sure that you're testing the messaging, the actual product, the offer, and things like that. So for example, we ran an upsell offer for an e-commerce business that were doing kind of health smoothies. So for them, for example, if I kind of list that journey out, so we're talking about health smoothies, the powdered kind, you add water or coconut juice, coconut milk or anything like that. So their product was, I'll just round it to $70. It was $69.99. We then tested as an upsell to sell 3 times that, but I think it was something like 197. The upsell was, if you buy 3 of these today, we'll give you all 3 for 197, or maybe it was a 147. That would make more sense. So it was like a slight discount. And then if they took that, we said, hang on a second, if you want to take our 6 bundle, then I think we dropped it down to something crazy, like, I think it was even 197. I can't remember the exact price. Whatever it was a crazy offer. This was some years ago. And the crazy thing about this was our average order values were in the kind of 130 range. So rather than, and this is the key thing about this, in a similar way, we weren't trying to sell bundles or kits or anything here necessarily. We were just trying to sell that one product at maximum conversion rate. And then here is where we try to make the money. But this is the other point about this. Even if they don't actually fully take up your upsells here, it doesn't matter. They're going to enter your funnel. So this is ultimately where you want to drop them down the funnel, and you want the biggest AOV out of it. So here, whatever the AOV is, at the bottom, you want the AOV to be even higher. And that's usually supported through email, SMS, it could be Messenger, it could even be more ads. So you're retargeting people that have already purchased. And this is the power of an SLO and why I love it so much. I'll give you another example. So this was, we're not actually promoting this right now, but the CBO cookbook, when it first came out in 2019, the funnel we built, and this is kind of my naivety just to get it out, was we launched it as a $97 offer. instead of, I think the list price might have been 297. So it was 97 instead of 297. And the goal was sell this super high value training at high volume. So it's all about conversion rate. I think there may have been an upsell, but from what I remember, the average order value was there or thereabouts. So at that point, we were dropping these leads into the funnel, and that's what they were. Like $97, we never started that project and thought this SLO is going to be an absolute bank-breaking launch. Instead, what we did is we said, we're going to launch this product. It's going to be a great training course. It's going to ascend people into the BPM method. So I think at that time, BPM method was something like 2K. So the goal was get as many quality leads into the funnel. And it was a twofold goal. First thing was get people who are willing to invest $97. I think it might have even been $497. So idea was cookbook, the actual price is $497. You'll get it for $97. And we limited it to like 10 days or 2 weeks or something like that. So we wanted to get as many conversions in, but to get people who are willing to invest and open up their wallets. And the idea was we had a drip campaign. I think there's like 15 or 16 emails through that whole sequence to get people to upgrade to higher ticket offer. And that was it. That's kind of what our goal was. Now, with hindsight and experience of digital products, kind of launching my own products since then, we didn't build any upsells. We didn't really think about the path. We didn't even build a proper avatar, which we absolutely do now. So we understand who we're actually speaking to, how we're pitching and things like that. This was, here's a cool idea. CBO is really a cool thing right now in 2019. Wouldn't it be cool to launch a training and get people into the main program from that? Now, did it work? It was okay. So first of all, this part, I wrote a case study on this as well. This did 100K plus in 8 days of the launch. So that was, a lot of it was done through email, organic, and then some ads, mainly around retargeting. So there wasn't even much in terms of cold traffic pushed into this. That was done over a 6-week launch period. So it wasn't a case of we just launched this and made 100K. There was 6 weeks of build up, then 8 days of running this before we hit 100K in front end revenue. So that's front end revenue, huge amount of profit off the back of this, but we generated really high quality leads. But then as the months went by, we were tracking how many people upgraded to the BPM. There were a few, and we made, I don't know whether we made off the back of it 50, 60K. But the real money that was made off the back of this was not on the BPM method. It was actually on our agency services. And what we didn't realize was people would be paying us $97 on the front end, getting great results, and then coming back to us 3 to 4 months later and say, hey, can your agency run our ads? And at that time, I think our basic agency fee was 5K, and then it would be upwards of 10, 15, 20K, depending on what the ad spend was and then where people were. But all of a sudden, people were upgrading to 5K, and not just a one-off like the 2K. This is 5K a month minimum. After the cookbook was launched, there was another 6 figures generated in terms of agency fees, both in terms of new clients joining and then the recurring fee coming through. Now, all of a sudden, you look at this and think, what if we'd actually gone through and pushed this at $47 or $29 or even $7? And this experience, because it's the first time I'd really launched a low ticket offer, one of my own products, because we were focusing on 2-3K programs. And then I realized, and this is something which Frank Kern, for example, talks a lot about, is you just want to find people that are willing to open their wallet. So this, I built the course first, and then I said, right, it is kind of $500 worth of value. Let's sell it for 97. Let's see what happens. But now what I do is I start with the price point. What do I want to start with? How do I build my offer around that? And how do I get people in? You know, this example of this e-com brand, it's slightly different because it's a client's brand. I can't define the price. I can maybe negotiate an offer or something like that. But that price was what was defined by the client. But what we could work on was what the upsells looked like. And therefore, we can go back to the client and say, hey, can we get a 50% offer, push this for $35 so we can push up the value? Because we know that X% of people convert into upsell 1, X% people convert into upsell 2. And therefore, although we're going to drop $35 on the front end, we're expecting to increase our average order value at the back end to 150 or something like that. So now you imagine from an acquisition point of view, this is a recurring product. I could spend $100, make $30 here, but I know that they're going to come back for more, obviously, if they like the products. But the higher your front end average order value is from your funnel, the easier it is to push your ad spend. So for example, on this one here, so the media buying kit, it was only, I think, a 7-day campaign. Maybe it was 14-day. I think we extended it in the end. But key thing here was I was prepared to go up to $100 on my cost per acquisition, because if my average order value was also $100, that means that I'm acquiring high quality paying email addresses into my list for $0. And that means I can scale that all day long. If I'm spending $100 to get one high quality email address into my funnel, where I know that the upsell is going to be, it might be 5K, 10K, 20K, whatever it is at the end, agency, coaching, things like that, which is what we attached on, then my acquisition fee is $0. And I just want you to understand that, because when you're thinking about your pricing, and I made that mistake initially, I was thinking kind of just, I want as much revenue up front as possible because I need to liquidate my ad spend. I don't want to make a loss and things like that. So then I might have thought, let's make that 197 or whatever. But now I'm going the other way and say, right, what's the lowest price I can bring in people at high converting volume where I can still share value and they're going to understand the value as well? Because the thing is, if I sold this course at $1 and said, hey, it's usually $500, I'd probably attract the wrong people. This is the compromise. You don't want to go too low that then all of a sudden your upsells and your higher ticket become impossible, because those people that can afford $7 and they're going to pay you $7,000. But you want people that are willing to take a risk, and you have to find the sweet spot there by testing. And what I like to do is start a little higher and then start dropping it down. It's harder to go the other way around. So I always start with, this is a $500 program, or this is a $300 program. Today you get it for $97. And then start price testing it, because you want to find the balance between high conversion and high quality. But this is the kind of approach where you can develop an acquisition campaign which kind of de-risks the growth factor of a lead magnet, because this is developing this kind of program. It takes time. So this option here, we've done it in the past. We still do it because I like to still experiment and see what's happening. And we're doing some cool things here just for the sake of experimenting. But this stuff here, when we kind of improve and develop it, all we'll do is just move it over here into our paid and focus more on here. So for example, we know that this 2 million a month lead magnet and case study is working really well as a hook and offer. Well, guess what? I might then make another $49 or a $29 offer, which is the exact processes of managing 2 million a month. Make it high value, target the right people, get them results. And this is the thing, you need to just get them a result that moves them one step forward. So if they're here right now and they're like, I want to climb up that place, that's what you're doing with that lead magnet. Now, your coaching program or your agency or your high ticket offer is probably up here, right? So I was going to draw a trophy, but it'll probably look quite terrible. That's where they want to get to, right? So they're kind of looking up there and saying, I want to get up there. This $29, $49 offer is just a step up. So once they're here or here, that's when you're not now like, well, hey, we can actually carry you up there and kind of fly you like a bird all the way to the top. So this is one of the key things about ascending people up ladders based on meeting them at certain points. So for example, go right back to the Canva example. This person was giving away free, was it free Canva templates? Might have been a low ticket. I think it was free. So in that case, the key thing there is if you're offering something free, try and get something paid as soon as you can. And that's the mistake I used to make, is get the lead magnet out there, get the free lead into my funnel in exchange for email or SMS, and then try lots of nurturing to get them in. There's no reason why when you deliver the lead magnet, whether it's on a website or an email, you can't make an offer straight away. It doesn't matter what it is. Test getting the money from them so that you can find out who your active buyers are, and you can now start to ascend them. So you can start to kind of merge some of these strategies together, and then you can build a high quality list. This is one of the biggest things about this, is building high quality lists, no matter what you're selling, no matter what the niche, no matter what the price of your ultimate upsell, whether you're an agency, e-com, doing affiliate marketing. This works for literally anything where you can sell something at higher value. If all you've got is a $29 product, this is absolute overkill, because $29 for many people isn't a good purchase. So I'd say Only consider this type of free lead magnet versus SLO approach if you have a high ticket offer. So high ticket could start at 1 to 2K, 10K, 50K upwards, then this process is right for you.